Right, let's get one thing straight before we go any further. I'm sitting here trying to enjoy a quiet pint, and I've been wrestling with a thought so infuriating it's nearly turned my beer sour. It's about maths, but it's not for the big-brained lads in university labs with their complicated chalkboards. No, this one's so simple a child could do it, and that's what makes it so bleeding dangerous. I'm serious. The lads in the know, the fellas with chalk dust on their jackets, they warn the young ones away from it. Don't waste your life on this, they say. It's a ghost, a siren's call that's broken more brilliant minds than cheap whiskey. It's a simple little game with numbers that not one person on this planet, not Einstein, not Newton, not even that fella with the wheelchair and the robot voice could solve. It's an absolute codswallop. So is maths just pulling a fast one on us all, or are we all just idiots for trying? Let's get to the bottom of it. Now, any sane person, any person who's ever had to split a bar tab 3 ways after 5 rounds, knows how numbers are supposed to work. Stands to bleeding reason. Numbers are supposed to be reliable, they're predictable, they're the one thing in this chaotic, topsy-turvy universe that's meant to follow the rules. If you have a fiver and you add a fiver, you have a tenner. It doesn't magically turn into a badger and run off under the table. If you have 10 pints and you drink 5, you have 5 left and a bit of a headache. Simple, consistent. Numbers are meant to go in one of 2 directions, up or down. You do a sum, it gets bigger. You do a takeaway, it gets smaller. That's the deal we made with them. They're not supposed to go on a mad walkabout, wandering all over the place like a fella who's lost his keys after closing time. Imagine your bank account, right? You get paid, it goes up. You pay your rent, it goes down. Imagine if it went up to £1 million on Tuesday, down to tuppence on Wednesday, then shot up to the moon on Thursday before settling back where it started. You'd think the bank was haunted. You'd be on the phone to a priest, not a financial advisor. That's what this problem does. It takes sensible, reliable numbers and turns them into unpredictable, wandering lunatics. And that's just not on. It's a breakdown of order. It's mathematical anarchy. Right, hold me pints. So I'm watching these maths hooligans, and they're playing this little game. They told me to pick a number, so I picked 3. A nice, simple number. And they told me the rules. If it's an odd number, you make it bigger by multiplying by 3 and adding 1. If it's an even number, you make it smaller by cutting it in half. That's it. So we start with our 3. Our number is 3. It's odd, so we do the first rule. 3 times 3 plus 1 equals 10. Grand. We went up, now we have 10. It's even, so we cut it in half. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. Right, now we're back down again. Now we're at 5. That's odd, so back up we go. 5 times 3 plus 1 equals 16. 16! We're flying now! From 16 it's even, so we chop it. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. And 8 is even, so we chop it again. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. And 4 is even, so chop it again. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. And 2 is even, so one last chop. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. And there it is. 1. After all that jumping up and crashing down, that little number 3 ended up at 1. And now it's stuck. Because from 1, it goes to 4, then to 2, then back to 1. Forever. A pathetic little loop, and that's the whole mystery. No matter what number you start with, no matter how big, it always seems to come crashing down to that same place. They call the paths the numbers take hailstone numbers, because they get tossed up into the sky and then fall back down. Our little number 3 was a respectable hailstone, but some of them are absolute madmen. Take the number 27. It looks innocent enough, but you apply the rules to it, and it goes on a bender, shooting all the way up to 9,232 before it finally sobers up and crashes back down to 1. 9,232 from 27. It's madness! So what have the greatest minds on the planet done about this? Well, they've tried everything. First, they tried brute force. They got the biggest computers they could find and just started checking numbers, one by one, to see if they could find one that didn't fall down to 1. They've checked every number up to 2 to the power of 68. That's a number so big it would give you a nosebleed just to look at it. It's nearly 300 quintillion. And every single one of them, every last one, eventually gets tired, comes home, and falls into the 4-2-1 loop. But that's not a proof! That's just trying a lot of doors and finding they're all unlocked. It doesn't mean there isn't a locked one somewhere way down the road, in a house you haven't even seen yet. What in the divine name of Pythagoras is that all about? Took me a while, had to have another pint just to process the sheer stubbornness of it, but I figured it out. This thing, the Collatz Conjecture, isn't a maths problem, it's a pub crawl, and the science lads are the poor souls trying to predict where every drunk in the world will end up. It's mad bastard science. Picture this. Every number is a fella out on the town, and there are two types of pubs. There's the odd pubs, the fancy cocktail bars where the prices are mad and your bill always goes up. Then there are the even pubs, the quiet, sensible places where you split the bill with a mate and your costs always go down. Our little number 3 started his night, stumbled into an odd pub and his bill shot up to 10 quid, then he hit an even pub and it went down to 5. But then he got ambitious, hit another odd pub and suddenly he's at 16 quid. But after that, it was all sensible pubs for him, all the way down. 8, 4, 2, until he ended up at the final destination, the 4-2-1 bar, where you just go round in circles forever. The science lads, they've been trying to doubly map this. They've made beautiful pictures of it, looking like seaweed or coral, showing all the little streams of numbers flowing into the big river that leads to the 4-2-1 bar. But they can't prove that there isn't some other river, somewhere out in the wilderness of numbers, that flows somewhere else. Or worse, a number that just keeps finding fancy cocktail bars and whose bill goes up to infinity. A fella who never ever goes home. So they tried getting clever. One fella, a genius named Terry Tay, basically came up with a bookie's proof. He proved that almost all numbers will eventually fall. That the odds are so overwhelmingly in favour of a number ending up at 1 that you'd have to be a madman to bet against it. But almost all isn't all. That's like saying almost all the horses in a race won't win. It's bleeding obvious, but it doesn't tell you who the winner is. There could still be that one rogue number, that one long shot, that defies the odds and runs off to infinity. So after all that work, all those big brains, they're left with a shrug and it'll probably be fine. Not good enough. And that's not all, that's just the start of it. The real secret, the bit they don't tell ya in the fancy maths books, is the swindle. The trick at the heart of it all. See, you think it's a fair game, right? An odd rule that makes you go up, an even rule that makes you go down. 50-50 chance. But it's not. The game is rigged. Because what happens every single time you use the odd rule? You take an odd number, make it bigger, and it always becomes an even number. It's a guaranteed win for the other side. So for every one big step up you take, you are forced by the laws of the universe to immediately take a step down next. You're not allowed to stay high, it's a cosmic con job. The universe is pulling a fast one, making you think you're getting ahead when really it's already planned your next fall. The whole system has a downward drag, like trying to climb a greasy pole. The mystery is proven that no number is so lucky, so ridiculously stubborn, that it can defy the greasy pole forever. So there you have it. The simplest, most infuriating puzzle in the world. A children's game that has brought the greatest minds on the planet to their knees, armed with supercomputers and theories that would make your head spin, and they've come up with nothing. Not a sausage. They've proven it's probably true, but they can't close the deal. It just goes to show you think you've got things all figured out, that you know the rules. But then the universe throws you a simple little thing that just doesn't play fair, and you realise you don't know anything at all. Right, me head hurts, and me glass is empty. That's your lot. Go on, I'm done with ya.